Today, good deal. Perfect timing, actually, perfect timing. Um, so today we're going to talk a little bit about what's called imperative or kind of command form in the language, and then prohibitive. So when you're telling somebody like, don't do this, don't do that. Um, these forms actually are pretty useful. I mean, when you're, especially like if you have kids or grandkids, um, honestly, I find myself saying command forms a lot. Don't do this, don't do that, do that, do this. When you have kids or grandkids around, it's pretty common to use a lot of these commands. And maybe you have a spouse you like to use a lot of commands with too, like, hey, what are you doing? Go do that, do that. But it's a pretty useful types of forms. And then we're also gonna talk a little more about weather. When we had that little quiz, if you will, and we talked about what areas people felt like they need a little more help with or a little more review on. Weather was one area that kind of popped up along with animals, and I think there was another area. I also want to go back and do a little more introductions. I was thinking about this. We did a little bit with introductions early on, but I'd like to go back a little bit to introductions, probably next class, where we can really talk with, like, Nadej Nakas, Dochpia, where I'm from, Nadodam, my clan. So to be able to introduce yourself and talk about things like that, I think is very useful. And it's something that I think most people want to be able to do, is to be able to get up, introduce yourself, where you're from, where your community is, and just, I mean, you have that opportunity to do that if you're at ceremony. Usually in ceremony, you introduce yourselves, but also if you're just at a meeting somewhere, you may want to get up and introduce yourself. So I want to go back and work a little bit on introductions next time too. So, okay, but enough talk about next time. Here we go. Let me move this one little video box around so it's not in the way. And I'm going to try to make this full screen. It's trying to do half screen here. Slideshow from the beginning. Okay, here we go. Let me get our, why this video thing always, like, I like seeing your guys' faces. I think it's useful to see mine when I'm talking, but if I don't position this thing right, when it actually records it, it'll record it right over the top of what we're trying to say. So, okay, let me find a spot to set this here. Okay, so commands. When you're using basic verbs, and VAI verbs is what they're called. They're just like your basic, like, sit, read, eat. VAI verbs are basically words. They're verbs that don't affect other people. Like, I'm sitting, I'm reading, I'm eating. Doesn't affect anybody else. So, beyond shoda. Oh, and there's two forms of these commands. There's singular and plural. So it's one person or more than one. So beyond shoda, come here. Biak shoda, everyone come here, or you all come here. Biak shoda. Bizugween, stand up. Bizugweek, everyone stand up. Bizugweek. Now, there are a lot of ways to talk about standing in Potawatomi. You can use nibwe, you can use nibo, gabo, and you can get real specific, like the way that, one thing about our language is it's very specific. So if you want to be like standing on one leg or standing and looking silly, you can say it in that very specific way if you want. But bizugween is just your basic rise up. And then there's even one for like get out of bed, neshke. If you said like neshkan, get out of bed, or bizugween, stand, nibwen, like stand in place. But bizugween, stand up or get up. Bizugweek, everyone. Wisnen, eat, wisnuk. Now, this is one command that I think you hear a lot. Doesn't matter where you're at, what community you're in. I mean, it's pretty common to hear wisnen or wisnuk, eat, and then, or everybody eat. I think it's just because we like to eat whenever we're having events. And if we were having a live class, we would probably be eating. So we can only virtually eat here, or I can eat in front of you and then you can be hungry, I guess. But we snook, you all eat. And then be a wisnen is like come here and eat. Be a wisnen, be a wisnook, you all come eat. Bin Chigan is clean. Bin Chigan. Bin Chigak, you all clean. Bin Chigak. Mik Chewin means work. Mik Chewin, telling one person work. Mik Chewik, you all work. Mik Chewik. Mban, Mban means to sleep. Mban, and then Mbak. Mbak is you all sleep. Now this one is a little bit complicated because you're not going to say Mban as much as you're going to say Omban. Omban means go to sleep, or Ombak, you all go to sleep, because it's really hard to command someone to do certain, like sleep. I mean, unless they're like have narcolepsy and they just fall out on you, like, oh, I mean, they're not going to immediately drop and just sleep, Mban. And that's the thing with certain verbs. Certain verbs that you can't command. For example, a lot of our VII verbs, which are verbs that are like the weather verbs, like it's cold or whatnot, you can't be like, be cold to the weather, or be sunny. You don't have that kind of control. So those type verbs you just can't command. So Mban, literally telling somebody sleep. Mban, Mbak, you all sleep. But Omban is a little more reasonable. You can put that O on the front of a lot of these to say like, go do it. Omban, Omban. You could even use it on that Wiesnen. You could say, oh Wiesnen, go eat, oh Wiesnen. So Omban and Ombak. Okay. Let me double check, make sure. I need to make sure I don't have any questions. Okay, we're good. And if you have a question and I don't happen to notice it, please don't hesitate to say something. Wave your hand, or whatever you want to do, and get my attention. So, okay. Find my button here to go to the next slide. Okay, VTI verbs. Now these are verbs that where you as a person are doing something with something. So once you start talking about like if I said like pick it up, pick up the chair, or pick up the clothes, or put the phone over there. Once I start talking about you doing something to an object, it's a VTI verb. These, what the heck? My microphone just changed. Hold on. I think I might have messed my camera up. Hold on a second. Let me get it back on here. There we go. I think I just hit my camera's plugged into my USB, and I think I hit it and it came off. So like Dopnen means pick it up. Dopnen im kuznen, pick up that shoe. Dopnen im kuznen. But if you say you all pick it up, it's a little different. It's dopnemok. Dopnemokni mkuznen. Dopnemokni mkuznen. You all pick up those shoes. Dopnemokni mkuznen. You all pick up those shoes. Dognen e gajosh. Dognen e gajosh. Touch your nose. Dognen e gajosh. Good job. And actually, that'd be a good activity we need to go through too. I don't think we've done a lot of body parts, and we could have our cameras on and we could play a little Simon Says and see if you guys can touch the right body parts. So, Dognen e gajosh. Dognen e gajosh. Touch your nose. Dognemok e gajosh. You all touch your nose. Dognemok e gajosh. Bindon e gumbagmuk. Bindon e gumbagmuk. Clean your room. That mba talks about sleeping, so that gamuk says the place you sleep is your bedroom. Bindon e gumbagmuk. Bindokni gumbagumgong. You all clean your rooms. Bindokni gumbagumgong. You all clean your rooms. Bindokni gumbagumgong. So this would work like if you have if you have kids and they have multiple rooms they need to clean up. So Bindokni gumbagumgong. Bindoni gadodabian. Clean your car. Bindoni gadodabian. Bindokni gadodabianen. You all clean your cars. Okay. Now, this last form that you see verbs in. Now, this is the one that you hear the most in like prayers, for example. You hear people using this form in prayers a lot, but it's also a form that you use when you're interacting between two animate people. So like if I'm talking to a person and I want them to do something, like the situation Besidweshin is saying, you listen to me. Besidweshin. Besidao. You listen to him, her, or them. So besidao. Listen to your older sister. Besidao ol bamazit. Listen to that person. Besidao ol kanomagwit. Listen to that teacher. Besidao. Besidweshuk. Besidweshuk. You all listen to me. Besidweshuk. Besidweshuk. And then again, Besidao. You listen to him. You all listen to him, her, or them. It's the same as you. So Besidao ol kanomagwit. Listen to that teacher. Besidao ol mjinkio nane. Listen to that police officer. Besidweshnak. Besidweshnak. Listen to us. Besidweshnak. Now that's the form a lot of times you hear when you hear somebody pray. And this next one here, Nijokmeshin. Nijokmeshin, help me. Nijokmeshin, you help me. Nijokmeshin. Nijokmao, help him or her or them. Nijokmao. Nijokmao. Nijokmeshuk, you all help me. Nijokmeshuk, you all help me. Nijokmao, you all help him, her, or them. Nijokmao. Now, him, her, or them, it just depends what you're talking about, like in the context, and maybe who you include in that. Like if you said, "Hey, help your help your grandpas, or help your parents get simuk." So nijokmao get simuk, help your parents, or nijokmao gibamajuk, help those people, or nijokmao obamaz, help that person. Nijokmao o kwe, help that woman. So nijokmao o gadanis, help your daughter. Nijokmao. Nijokmeshnak. Nijokmeshnak, help us. Nijokmeshnak. Now this type, again, this form a lot of times you hear when people pray. Now nijokmeshnak wajem minopmadziak, help us so that we can live a good life. Nijokmeshnak. Yeah. So with these VTAs, there's a lot more types to them. There's like, you do it to him or her, or you do it, you help me, you do something for me, you all do something for me, you do something for him, her, or them, you do something for us. Where with the VAI verbs, it's just like one person do it, everybody do it. So a little more complicated. Let's see here. Okay. Prohibitive, or this would be telling someone not to do something. So when you tell someone not to do something, you put a gago at the front, and then you put a can or a kak at the end of the verb. So bia is the verb to come. So gago bia can shoda. Don't come here. Gago bia can shoda. Gago bia can shoda. Don't come here. Gago bia kak shoda. Don't you all come here. So can, one person, kak, more than one. And again, you got to have that gago with it. Gago bia can shoda. Gago bia kak shoda. Don't you all come here. Gago bia can shoda. Don't you come here. So can, one person, kak, bunch of people. Gago bezugwi can. Don't stand up. Gago bezugwi can. Gago bezugwi kak. Don't you all stand up. Gago bezugwi kak. Gago wisnakan. Don't eat. Gago wisnakan. Maybe you're waiting for some people to show up, or you're waiting for somebody to do the prayer. So gago wisnakan. Don't eat. Gago wisnakan. Gago wisnakak. Don't you all eat. Gago wisnakak. Gago wisnakak. Bob wichkak. Imad mot o nane. Don't eat. Wait for that man to pray. Gago wisnakak. Don't eat. You all. Gago wisnakan. Don't eat. One person. Gago bia wisnan. Oh, wisnakan is what I should say. Gago bia wisnakan. Don't come eat. Gago bia wisnakan. Don't come eat. And now I see what happened. My kak should be over there. Okay. Gago bia wisnakak. Don't you all come eat. So it should be kak for the you all, can for one. So gago bia wisnakan. Don't come eat. Gago bia wisnakak. Don't you all come eat. Gago binchagag can. don't clean. Gaggle bean chigek can. Gaggle bean chigek cack, don't you all clean. Scat, nah. Well, I just doubled up on the typos today. Oh, man, it looks like it did all the way down too. I didn't change that. I'm gonna have to change this in my thing real quick here. It's just I'm gonna have to fix that real quick so it's clear. Just give me 1 second here. I didn't even see it. So while I'm doing this, so the can is for one, the cack is for more than one. So can, and then you have to have the gaggle with it. So gaggle, and then the can is the singular, gaggle and the cack is the plural. Okay. Okay, better. So gaggle, let's start again. Gaggle be a can shoda, don't come here, telling one person. Gaggle be a can shoda, don't come here. Gaggle be a cack, don't you all come here. Gaggle be a cack shoda. Gaggle bizugwe can, don't stand up, telling one person. Gaggle bizugwe cack can. Gaggle bizugwe cack, don't you all stand up. Gaggle bizugwe cack, don't you all stand up. Gaggle weesna can, don't eat, telling one person. Gaggle weesna cack, don't you all eat. Gaggle weesna cack. Gaggle be a weesna can, don't come eat, telling one person. Gaggle be a weesna can. Gaggle be a weesna cack, don't you all come eat. Gaggle be a weesna cack. Gaggle bean chigan, don't clean. Gaggle bean chigan, don't clean. Gaggle bean chigag cack, don't you all clean. Now that's one I'd like to hear. Let somebody be like, hey, don't clean up. Oh, I got it. Gaggle bean chigag can. Gaggle bean chigag cack. Gaggle mikchewy can. Don't work. Gaggle mikchewy can. Don't work. One person. Gaggle mikchewy cack. Don't you all work. Gaggle mikchewy cack. Don't you all work. Gaggle mbak can. Don't sleep. Gaggle mbak cack. Don't you all sleep. Gaggle mbak cack. Don't you all sleep. Gaggle mbak can. Don't sleep. Gaggle mbak cack. Don't you all sleep. Okay. So again, this prohibitive form is how you tell somebody don't something. So another example like is zhitchke is the verb to do something. So if I said gaggle zhitchke can e, don't do that. Gaggle zhitchke can e, don't do that. Or gaggle mupto can, don't run. Gaggle mupto can. And then I might follow that with bamosin, walk. Gaggle mupto can, don't run. Bamosin, walk. Or Gaggle mupto can, shushquam get zagich. Don't run, it's slick outside. Gaggle mupto can, shushquam get zagich. Or gaggle mbak can, epich wabdam yak mesnatak. Don't sleep while we're watching a movie. Gaggle mbak can, epich wabdam yak mesnatak. Don't sleep while we're watching a movie. So, but again, with this one, with these prohibitive form, you just got to remember the gaggle, and then can for the singular or cack for the plural on the verb itself. So, make sure I don't have any questions about that. Nope. Okay. Okay. And like I said, I had some weather terms I definitely wanted to get back into again and to kind of review these. Oh, I'm going too fast. What's happening here? So, Nijagomzagic. How is the weather today? Nijagomzagic. So, Nija, how? Gom, today. Zagic, outside, literally. Nijagomzagic. Nijagomzagic. Minogizget. Minogizget. It's a nice or a beautiful day. Minogizget. And I mean, there's people also that like to use that just like as a greeting, like, hey, good day, Minogizget. I've heard people do that too, Minogizget. And another one that's funny, I didn't think about putting this one up here, but somebody asked me one time, how do you say like, have a nice day? I thought, well, that's interesting. And I thought about it, and I talked to another guy about it, and kind of came to the understanding that you could say Mano get can, have a nice day. And that can is telling you to make it happen that way. Mano get can, have a nice day. But Mano get, it's a nice or beautiful day. Mano get. We Mano get Wabuk. It's gonna be a beautiful day tomorrow. We Mano get Wabuk. We Mano get Wabuk. We Mano get Wabuk. It's gonna be a beautiful day tomorrow. Mano get Gishpan Edokian. Mano get Gishpan Edokian. It's a good day if you wake up. And I was always told too, like when it comes to weather, even though you can kind of joke around about it, you never want to be kind of unthankful for however the day ends up. If it's snowy, if it's raining, don't be upset or glum about it, because if you act in kind of a negative way towards, like, let's say it's raining, next thing you know you're going to be in a drought, or you're upset because it's snowy. Next thing you know, you're going to have a year where it hardly snows, and again, somewhat of a drought condition. So you always want to be thankful for the day. So Mano get Gishpan Edokian. It's a good day if you wake up. Mano get Gishpan Edokian. Mano get Gagabamo salmon. Mano get Gagabamo salmon. It's a beautiful day. Let's take a walk. Mano get Gagabamo salmon. It's a beautiful day. Let's take a walk. Mano get Gagabamo salmon. It's a beautiful day. Let's take a walk. Gajat get. It's hot. Gajat get. Now, this only applies to weather. And the reason that is because that ate, that ate part is it's in reference to the sun making it happen that way. And so when you're talking about hot with Gajat get, you're saying it's hot outside, but it's sun related, basically. The sun is making it hot. So, for example, if you were in your house and maybe the stove was hot, you wouldn't say, "Oh, Gajat get." Gajat is getting the stove's hot. You would say, Gajadam get. Gajadam get's how you say it's hot, like something, like an object. Gajadam get. Or Gajadam get. And then you can get real specific in our language. You can talk about like a liquid being hot. You can talk about like metal being hot, and it can change a little bit for that too. But for just like it's hot outside, Gajadam get. Or I have heard some speakers they'll just say Gajate. You can say Gajate, get. It's hot. Gajate or Gajate get. Kiet nam Gajate get gom. Kiet nam Gajate get gom. It is really hot today. Kiet nam Gajate get gom. Gom shoda edayan got walk. Today it was 100 degrees here in Oklahoma, so it was hot today. I think it was the hottest day we've had this year. So Kiet nam Gajat get gom. It is really hot today. Nijagom zagich. How's the weather Iba Edayak, where you guys are living? How's the weather over there? Is it Gajate? Is it Minogies get a nice day? I'll let y'all wait until we get down a little further. We're talking about like a cool day and some other weather phenomenons for I have you guys answer if you want. But let's see. Gajat get. Kietnam Gajat get. It's really hot today. Kietnam Gajat get. Gajat get ne zagich. Is it hot outside? Gajat get ne zagich. Is it hot outside? Cho Gajates known. It's not hot. Cho Gajates known. It's not hot. Cho Gajates known. It's not hot. Kasinyam get. It's cold. Kasinyam get. And again, this is weather related. When you start talking about something as cool or cold, like in your house or something like that, maybe it's a cup that was in the fridge or something. It's tekade, then tekade. It's cool or it's cold. Tekade. But kasinyam get is weather related. Kasinyam get. Kasinyam get biskani gajoyak. It's cold. Put on some warm clothes. Kasinyam get biskin e gajazoyak. Put on some warm clothes. Let me move this this video box over again. I don't want it to be in the middle of the screen since we're recording this. Scan out. Hold on. Just 1 second. I'm trying to move this thing here. Oh, it doesn't want to move. There it goes. Okay, now it's out of the way. So, Kasinyam get biskin e gajoyak. It's cold. Put on some warm clothes. Biskin means put on clothes. Biskin e gajoyak, something warm. Biskin e gajoyak. Kasinyam get, it's cold. Kasinyam get gadanindam ne waja bonim guk. Kasinyam get gadanindam ne waja bonim guk. It's cold. You think it's gonna snow? Kasinyam get gadanindam ne waja bonim guk. Cho kasinya snow, it's not cold. Cho kasinya snow, it's not cold. Bonim get, it's snowing. Bonim get. Kitchabonim get zagich. It's snowing. It's really snowing outside. Kitchabonim get zagich. Shpagunagyak jaje. The snow is deep already. Shpagunagyak jaje. The snow is deep already. That shpa part is talking about like up above. So it's really saying the snow is way up above is what it is. So let me say that word a little bit slower here. So that whole sentence, because it's a little bit hard to say. So kutcha bonim get zagich. Kutcha bonim get zagich. It's really snowing outside. Kutcha bonim get zagich. You could also say chi bonim get zagich. Chi bonim get zagich or kutcha bonim get zagich. It's really snowing outside. And then shpag winugyak jaje. Shpag winugyak. Shpag winugyak. Shpag winugyak. Shpag winugyak jaje. The snow is deep already. Shpag winugyak jaje. Gibonim get de bakok. Gibonim get de bakok. It snowed last night. Gibonim get de bakok. That gi on the front is telling you that it happened in the past. Gi bonim get. So it snowed. De bakok last night. Gibonim get de bakok. Gibonim get de bakok. And if you haven't been already, I hope that you're repeating the words where you're at right there. Just kind of say them out loud to yourself, because again, the more times you hear these words, the easier they become. At first, they can be a little bit challenging to pronounce. Kind of get your mouth used to making those sounds. For example, one thing that's really complicated, I think, for a lot of English speakers or folks that English is their first language, is that when you have like multiple consonants and then you got a vowel like shpag, shpagwinugyak, or mshkuk kionane, something where you got like four consonants and a vowel. You really don't have that happen in English very often. So sometimes it's a little bit of a tongue twister for you. Shpagwinugyak, jaje. Shpagwinugyak jaje. And it's a little bit of a tongue twister. Gibonim get de bakok. Gibonim get de bakok. It snowed last night. Odanke gijgok we kutchabonim get. Odanke gijgok we kutchabonim get. It's really going to snow on Saturday. Odanke gijgok is on Saturday. And Saturday is go to town day. Because back in the day when people had horses and whatnot, you didn't go to town like we do today every day. If you lived out in the country, it might be 20, 30 miles to town. So, Saturday is your go to town day and stock up on your supplies and get what you need for the week. And then, it's like I said, it's not like today where you might live in town or you're constantly going to town every day to get different items and things. But like Saturday was that go to town day. And then Monday is the first day, Gok Gijuk. And then Tuesday is the second day, Nishkijuk. Wednesday is optagesic, halfway through. Nealgesic is Thursday, the fourth day. Neanogesic is Friday. Odankegesic is Saturday. And most people say Namagesic for Sunday or prayer day. And Nama is prayer, but it's very much a Christian way of praying. Nama versus Madmo. So Namagesic, prayer day. Odankegijgokwi Kichibonimguk. It's really gonna snow on Saturday. Odankegijgokwi Kichibonimguk. It's gonna really snow on Saturday. Odankegijgokwi Kichibonimguk. So Odankegijgok we Kichibonimguk. Now, if you're wondering why it changes from bonim get to bonim guk, the reason that is when there's more than one verb in a sentence, the second verb usually goes into what's called the conjunct. And with the conjunct, the K is with the maget, it changes from maget to maguk. So like, for example, here, Odanke Gijgok we Kichibonim Guk. It's really going to snow on Saturday. Even though that is the word for Saturday, it's literally that Gijgok is actually a verb to be Saturday. So it's like on Saturday, verb-wise, it's going to really snow. So that second verb is that bonim guk. That's why it changes to guk from get. So if it's the first verb, it's going to be mget. If it's the second verb, a lot of times it's going to be mguk. It's a secondary verb. That's what's going on. In case you're wondering, like, man, why is it going back from gut to guk? That's what's happening. So, Odanke gijgok we kichibonim guk. Let me see if there's any questions up there, guys. Okay, no questions right now. Okay, that's okay. No questions is okay. I mean, occasionally. I mean, like I said, if you do have questions, I do really want to emphasize. Please don't hesitate to ask a question if you feel like, even if you think it's a silly question, because I guarantee usually when people ask a question that maybe they're uncertain of and they think it's a silly question, a lot of times they find out that usually someone else has the exact same question. Maybe they just don't want to ask it, or maybe they think it's silly too. So please don't hesitate to ask any question you want. So, Gamoan, it's raining, Gamoan. Gamoan, Ketchkakwewen Gagibiadon. Gamoan, Ketchkakwewen Gagibiadon. It's raining. Did you bring an umbrella? Gamoan, Ketchkakwewen Gagibiadon. So that word for umbrella, that Ketchkakwewen, that Ketchkakwe is talking about how it shades you, it covers you over. It's a covering, but it's shading you. It's giving you something to, I guess, cover yourself with. That Ketchkakwe, or putting a shadow on you in a way. It's covering you because you got that umbrella. If you got that umbrella up, you're underneath it, and there's like a shadow to it. You know, you're underneath it. So, Gamoan Ketchkakwe when Gigibiadon. It's raining. Did you bring an umbrella? Gamoan Ketchkakwe when Gigibiadon. So this Ketchkakwe one, again, that's umbrella. That ne there is telling you it's a simple question. The G is you. The gi is the past. Biadon is the verb to bring it. So Gamoan, it's raining, is just a statement. Then Ketchkakwe when Gigibiadon. Did you bring an umbrella? Usually you'll notice that whatever is most important always ends up out front. And it's a little bit in reverse to maybe how we think in English. In English, you might think, did you bring an umbrella? An umbrella would be the last thing you'd say. Well, in Potawatomi, what you're bringing in this sense would be more important. So it's umbrella, Ketchkakwewen, ne, question, did you bring it? So it's kind of reversed the way maybe you think of it in English. So usually the most important thing, or either object or noun, place, time, usually goes out front. And most important is a little bit dependent on how you view it, in the sense of, like, if there's just one noun in the sentence and you're talking about that noun, it's probably going to be the thing that goes out front. If somebody asks you, for example, Nipijawajiayin, where are you going? Well, then in that sense, the where is probably the most important thing. So you'd say like Daw Wow Gum Gok Nawija, I'm gonna go to the store. Or Wesio Gum Gok Nawija, I'm gonna go to the zoo, or whatever you're gonna go to. So but if somebody asks you, when are you going to the zoo? Well now the time or the time of day or maybe the day of the week is more important. So like you might say, Wabuk Norwegian, we're going to go tomorrow, or Oswabuk, the day after tomorrow, Norwegian, we're going to go. So, Nasana, Kietnam Gamoen, Joshquanoni Miawen, Nasana, Kietnam Gamoen, Joshquanoni Miawen. So, Nasana, be careful, Nasana. Kietnam Gamoen. It's really raining. Kietnam Gamoen. I also could have said Kutcha Gamoen or Kwansuge is another way I could say it. Kwansuge Gamoen. But Kietnam, really. Kietnam Gamoen. Joshquanoni Miawen. The roads are slick. Joshquanoni Miawen. So Joshqua is the verb to be slick or smooth. So Joshqua. So if I said like a road, just one road was slick, I would say Joshqua I Miao. But since I'm saying they are slick, I say Joshqua non. They're slick. Ni, those, Miaowen roads. Miao being one road, Miaowen roads plural. So that's the difference there. So if I said, be careful, the road is slick. Maybe you're talking about, maybe you have like a really long road that you drive up, maybe up the side of a hill or something to get to your house. You might be like, Joshqua I Miao. The road is slick. Joshqua I Miao. Or you could say, Joshquam get I Miao. Joshquam get I Miao. The road is slick. But here it's Joshqua non ni miawen. The roads are slick. Joshqua non ni miawen. Okay. One more time, I want to just kind of read through each of these words so you can hear them again before I go to the next slide. Kasinyam get. Kasinyam get. Kasinyam get biskini gajoyak. Kasinyam get biskini gajoyak. Kasinyam get gedanindam ne wajabonim guk. Kasinyam get gedanindam waja bonim guk. It's cold. Do you think it's going to snow? Cho kasinya snon. It's not cold. Cho kasinya snon. Bonim get. Bonim get. It's snowing. Now, one thing I will point out here too is the word for snow actually changes once it's on the ground. So when it's coming down, it's one word. When you're talking about like a snowbank or snow on the ground, it changes to gone. Gone when you're talking about snow on the ground. Bonim get when it's coming down, when it's kind of like it's fluttering down. It's kind of like going like this on the way down. Bonim get. And then when it gets to the ground, it's gone. It's a different word. It's gone. So I might point that out there. Kichibonim get zagich, spagwinagyak, jaje. Kichibonim get zagich, spagwinagyak, jaje. It's really snowing outside. The snow is deep already. Kichibonim get zagich, spagwinagyak, jaje. Gibonim get the bakok. It snowed last night. Gibonim get the bakok. Gibonim get the bakok. Odanke gijgokwi kichibom guk. Odanke gijgokwi kichibonim guk. It's really going to snow on Saturday. Odanke gijgokwi kichibonim guk. Gamoen. Gamoen. It's raining. Gamoen. Now, if I said it was raining, I would say geekmoen. I put that gi on the front and it kind of flows into it. Geekmoen. It was raining. If I say it's going to rain, I put the we on the front and it kind of again flows into that G. Weekmoen. Weekmoen. It's gonna rain. Weekmoen. Geekmoen. It did rain. Gamoen. It's raining right now. Gamoen. Gamoen. Remember, if you remember what I talked about Gamoen last time, I said, hey, when it gets to raining, you got to get Gamoen. So that's one way. One way to remember that word gamoing is like think about how after it rains you have to mow your yard a lot of times. You got to get gamoing after it rains. Gamoing. Gamoing ketchkakwe wenne gigibiadon. Gamoing ketchkakwe wenne gigibiadon. It's raining. Did you bring an umbrella? Gamoing ketchkakwe wenne gigibiadon. Gamoing ketchkakwe wenne gigibiadon. Nasana, nasana, kietnam gamoin, joshquanon ni miawen. Nasana, kietnam gamoin, joshquanon ni miawen. Be careful, it's really raining. The roads are slick. Nasana, kietnam gamoin, joshquanon ni miawen. Wasayam get. Wasayam get. It's bright. And there's actually a few ways to say bright outside. You can say like wasayam get. You can also say basteke. It's bright. Well, not basteke. Bastem get. Bright. You can say, oh, what's the other one? Mano. Scano. There's another word. There's another word for bright, but this is bright, sunny, bright. Wasayam get. Wasayam get. It's bright. Wasayam get. Gizes skizgo kajgen gadeton. Wasayam get. Gizes skizgo kajgen gadeton. Wasayam get. Do you have sunglasses? It's bright. Gizes is sun. Skizgo kajgen is just a word for glasses. It's literally talking about the things that hang over your eyes. Skizgo, and then kajgen is talking about hanging over. So, and then gizes skizgo kajgen ne kadeton. Do you have sunglasses? Gizes skizgo kajgen ne kadeton. Wasayam get. It's bright. Wasayam get. Now I know this word looks like a mouthful, and maybe it is, but it's like I said, some of these words you get used to saying them, and that they if you say them enough, they just start to kind of flow off your tongue real easy. So it's like Gizes skizgo kajgen. Gizes skizgo kajgen. Gizes skizgo kajgen. Gizes skizgo kajgen me kadeton. So Gizes skizgo kajgen ne gadeton. Wasayam get. Do you have sunglasses? It's bright. Zam wasayam get. Zam wasayam get. It's too bright. Oh, zam wasayam get. It is too bright. Wasayam get. We bastekeyan. It's bright. I'm gonna sunbathe. Lay out in the sun. Wasayam get. We bastekeyan. I'm gonna sunbathe. It's bright out. It's sunny. Wasayam get. We bastekeyan. So again, baste by itself is another way to talk about the brightness. When you say basteke, it means sunbathe or lay out in the sun. Basteke. So bastekeyan. I'm gonna do it. Wasayam get. We bastekeyan. It's bright. I'm gonna sunbathe or tan. Takeyam get. It's cool. Takeyam get. And again, this is also only talking about the weather. Takeyam get. If you were to say something was cool, like a cup or soup or something, you'd say takede, takede. But takeyam get. It's cool. Takeyam get. Or takaza, he or she is cool. Nida takas, I'm cool. Nida takas. Get a takas, are you cool? You could use it like that as slang if you really wanted to, because to be cool. But Takeyam get otojopi gaga shkameyakwi noksewat. Takeyam get otojopi gaga shkameyakwi noksewat. Let me move this box too. It's in the way. I may move it up. It's cool right now. Soon the mosquitoes are gonna emerge. Takeyam get otojopi. It's cool right now. Gaga soon. Skameyak. Oh, I always go like this when I say skame. Skame is a mosquito. I always want to go, oh, Skameyak. Mosquitoes, we moksewat. They're gonna emerge. They're gonna come out. Moksewat. Tekayam get otojopi. Gaga skameyak we noksewat. It's cool right now. Soon the mosquitoes are gonna emerge. Because most mosquitoes don't like to come out in the heat of the day. They like to come out when it's nice and cool and it's starting to get dark. Gitakayam get nago neschengom geshatem get. It was cool yesterday, but it's hot today. Now here's an example where I used maget on both of them instead of going into maguk. You can do that if you have like a conjunct, a thing that kind of goes between it. I can't remember what the word is in English for it, but like nestia means like but. And so when you have that kind of like separation, you can do takayam get and then geshatem get afterwards. So gi takayam get nago. It was cool yesterday, nestia, but gom geshatem get. But today it's hot. Gi takayam get nestia gom geshatem get. It's cool yesterday, but today it's hot. Cho takayas no, it's not cool. Cho the chaos no, it's not cool. Cho to chaos no, it's not cool. Maybe them get it's hot or yabwan get it's warm. Noden, windy, Noden. I'm not talking about boget windy either. I'm talking about boge. I'm not talking about farting either. Not that kind of wind, but windy. Noden. Noden. There's a nice breeze or good breeze. Noden. Zagech Kitchenoden. It's really windy outside. Zagech Kitchenoden. It's really windy outside. Deschikadek Najiptub Eko Manonodek. I'm sitting on the deck since there's a nice breeze. Deschikadek. Oh, I got an extra letter in there, I see. Okay, that D does not belong there. Deschikadek Najiptub Eko Manonodek. Sitting on the deck since there's a nice breeze. Deschikadek is a word for a deck, but it really is talking about like this flat kind of area, that you, and then jeepdub, I'm sitting, echo, since, manonoduk, there's a nice breeze or a good breeze. So, deschikadek, jeepdub, echo, manonoduk. Let me say these say these words again a couple times so you can hear them again. And again, just get used to hearing some of the language and hearing the way some of these sounds are. And if you want, I would definitely encourage you to repeat them with me from where you're at in your Edayan, where you're living at. So, wasayam get, it's bright. Wasayam get. Gizis skijgo kajgene gadaton. Gizis skijgo kajgene gadaton wasayam get. Do you have sunglasses? It's bright. Gizis skijgo kajgene gadaton wasayam get. Oh, zam wasayam get. Zam wasayam get. It's too bright. Zam wasayam get. Wasayam get. We bastekeyan. Gonna sunbathe. Wasayam get. We bastekeyan. It's sunny. I'm gonna sunbathe. Lay out in the sun. Get a tan. Wasayam get. We bastekeyan. Tekayam get. Tekayam get. It's cool. Tekayam get. Now, I will say, if you're actually talking about like I'm cool, it changes also. Again, some of these are a little complicated because if you're talking about like something in your house being cool, it changes to kadeh. Now, if you say like I'm cold, nabigech, I'm cold. Nabigech, I'm cold. Nabigech, it's a little different word for that too. So sometimes it gets real specific. Where in English we just say we use cool in just a variety of ways. You can be talking about the weather's cool. You can be talking about this cup is cool, or this drink is cool, or we could talk about how, oh man, I'm real cool. I'm real cold or real cool right now. But it changes in Potawatomi. So it's to kayam get, it's cool. To kadam get, something is cool. To kazeh, he or she is cool. And then like if you were talking about like feeling cool, it's nibigech, like, oh, I'm cold, nibigech. So I know that's a lot of changes, but
Now, it's just the way it goes. That's a favorite phrase of mine. It's just the way it is. The way it happens, the way it goes. Okay, so tekeyam get. It's cool. Tekeyam get. Odajopi. It's cool right now. Gaga skameyak. Oh, we noksewa. Oh, skameyak. And we noksewa. It's cool right now. Soon the mosquitoes are gonna emerge. Tekeyam get odajopi. Gaga skameyak. We noksewat. Gi tekeyam get nago. Neschagom. Gajatem get. Gi tekeyam get nago. Nescha nago. Or neschagom. Gajatem get. It was cool yesterday, but today it's hot. Gi tekeyam get nago. Nescha gom. Gajatem get. Cho tekenes. Tekeyasnon. Cho tekeyasnon. It's not cool. Cho tekeyasnon. Noden. It's windy. Noden. And again, there's a lot of ways to describe the wind in our language. You can talk about it from like gwek on met, like wind changing directions. You can say like wiskan met, it's a strong wind. Shio on met, it's kind of like a swirly wind. But noden is just our general word for windy. Noden. Manonoden, there's a nice breeze or a cool breeze. Manonoden. Zagich Kuchinoden. Zagich Kuchinoden. It's really windy outside. Zagich Kuchinoden. Deschigadek Najiptab Eko Manonodek. I'm sitting on the deck since there's a nice breeze. Deschigadek Najiptab Eko Manonodek. Deschigadek, that's your deck. Najiptab, I'm sitting. Eko, since. Manonodek. Okay. I think I have another slide here. I might have a couple slides actually. Oh yeah, I got a couple to go. Niskadet. Niskadet. It's stormy. Niskadet. Beyond Quet, we Niskadet. Clouds are approaching. It's going to storm. Beyond Quet, we Niskadek. The clouds are approaching. It's going to storm. We web Niskadek. Niano de Buganac. It's going to start storming at around 5 o'clock. And this one I could have put in the independent. I could have said Niskadet, said Niskadek. We web Niskadet Niano de Buganac. It's going to start storming around 5 o'clock. Niano de Buganac. Ki Niskadet de Bukok Jak Shigagom Biwak. Stormed last night. Everything is wet. Ki Niskadet de Bukok Jak Shigagom Biwak. It stormed last night. Everything is wet. Naguan Quet. It's cloudy. Naguan Quet. That Ngwa, that Nigwa, that nig part on the nigol part at the front of that, it's talking about like covering it over. In fact, it's also the word that's inside of like bury something, like you cover something over. So the clouds are being covered over. Naguan Quet, they're cloudy. Naguan Quet. Naguan Quet Gagasha Week Moak. It's cloudy. It's gonna rain soon. Naguan Quet Gagasha Week Moak. It's gonna rain soon. Mejequet, it's a clear sky. Mejequet. Mejequet meaning Manogijguk. It's a clear sky and a nice day. Mejequet meaning Manogijguk. Mejequet chongi wabdesing got anquet. It's a clear sky. I don't see one cloud. Mejequet chongi wabdesing got anquet. I don't see one cloud. So let me say these again. Niskadet. Niskadet. It's stormy. Niskadet. Beyond Quet, we Niskadek. Beyond Quet, we Niskadek. Clouds are approaching. It's going to storm. We web Niskadek Niano de Buganac. We web Niskadek Niano de Buganac. It's going to start storming at 5 o'clock. Ki Niskadet de Bukok. Jak Chicago Biwak. It stormed last night. Everything is wet. Ki Niskadet de Bukok. Jak Chicago Biwak. Naguan Quet, it's cloudy. Naguan Quet. Naguan Quet Gagasha Week Gamoak. Naguan Quet Gagasha Week Gamoak. It's cloudy. It's going to rain soon. Mejequet. Mjequet. It's a clear sky. Mjequet. In fact, I've heard somebody that had a name was Mjuktoqua, like clear sky woman. Mjequet mina minogijguk. It's a clear sky and a nice day. Mjequet mina minogijguk. Mjequet. It's a clear sky. Chongi wabdesin got anquet. Chongi wabdesin got anquet. I don't see one cloud. Chongi wabdesin got anquet. Okay, I think this is my last slide here of weather. So we got Msugnam get, it's hailing. Msugnam get. There's a couple ways to talk about hail, and you can also say like Mkomi when it's hailing. You can say Msugnam get, it's hailing. Kichem Sugnam get, it really hailed. Kichem Sugnam get. Kom Paquaquit Getchwa Zit Paquaquit. That ice ball is like a football. That's a large ice chunk. I should have said a baseball, but I don't know why I said a football. If you get hit with a football size hail, you got some serious problems. Softball, sure. Football, yeah, bad time. So Mkom Paquaquit Getchwa Zit Paquaquit. Mkom Paquaquit Getchwa Zit Paquaquit. Wind see wind. It's foggy. Wind see wind. Kiwensiwen Jeba. It was foggy this past morning. Jeba means this past morning. Kiwensiwen Jeba. It was foggy this past morning. Watea Wensiwen. Chonwab desinin Zudin. Wow, it's foggy. I can't see my feet. Watea Wensiwen. Chonwab desinin Zudin. Wow, it's really foggy. I can't see my feet. Watea Wensiwen. Chon wabdesin zadin. Jigwek bamosewat. The thunders are walking. Jigwek bamosewat. That's an old saying. It's talking about them thunders. When you hear that thunder, you're like, oh man, thunders are walking. Jigwek bamosewat. You want to take your sema, put down a little bit of sema and say a prayer ask for minop mods when good health. Jitama goswen help. So okay, that was it. That was it for today, I think. So again, we went over imperative, so how to do like a command, and really you can use any of those VAI verbs and do that with. In fact, if you go to potawatomi.dictionary.com, there's an area that's like called tags. It was messed up a couple days ago, but it usually will work where you can look for verb types and you can find those VAI verbs, and really any of those can be used in that singular or plural command form. So like jeeptabin, jeeptabuk, Bzugween, Bzugweek, Mikcheween, Mikcheweek. And then that prohibitive form, telling somebody don't do something, just remember you got to have your gaggle, and then you want to have like a can for telling one person not to do it, cac for more than one. And that's in your basic form. We didn't get into that more complicated ones today, but we'll get into that again. But next class, I really want to do some more with introductions. I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable introducing yourself to language. And just having like a real short conversation. That way, when you see somebody in the community, you can be like, "Hey, bonjour, Nijinangom, how are you today? Nijejawebok, what's happening? Week Moenne, is it gonna rain? Or Nijet Sudabaganak, what time is it? Nijapiwa, Chikadaman, bingo. When are we gonna play bingo or whatever you want to say?" It's like a brief conversation type stuff. So a little bit more with some conversation, but also with some introductions where you can say, Zagnanibi Deshnika, Zagnanibi Nishnaben no swin, Nishnaben Dao, Bodwewadmimwen Shishibani Bandagwas, Jujakun Dodam, Kansas City, Missouri, and Dochbia, Mina, Shawnee, Oklahoma, Edayan, Odajo, Pingo. So be able to talk about, this is my clan, this is my name, this is where I'm from. This is my Indian name. If I have one, I'm Indian. I'm Potawatomi, and if you might want to say I'm Potawatomi, and maybe I'm an Ojibwa, and some people will even include. Like I've heard one guy introduce himself. He said, "Chimokman, mina Bodwewadmi, mina Ojibwa, mina Miami, mina Wimtagoji." I was like, wow. He broke down his whole ancestry. He was like, I'm English, or I'm American. I'm French. I'm Miami. Ojibwa, Potawatomi, and like he threw a couple others in there, and I was like, okay. Well, I usually just say Bodwewadmimwen14. Obviously other things as well, but that's who I am. So, oh, miigwech Jack nabagosinjige dagwindamak or Bodwewadmimwen14. I hope you all enjoyed this class.